Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Charlie, and on today's episode I'm going to be showing you how to make my delicious homemade chili cheese potato bake from scratch. Now, of course, this is scalloped potatoes. It consists of thinly sliced potatoes and a cheese sauce. From there, it is topped with a homemade chili and 2 different types of cheeses. And from there, it is baked to perfection. This recipe, you can get about 12 to 15 servings. It's the ultimate comfort food dish to try, especially during those fall and winter months when it's nice and cold. Good stick to my ribs meal, flavorful, and absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all you'll need to make your homemade chili cheese potato bake. Let's get started with our ingredients. You will need 3 pounds, that's 3 russet potatoes, and along with that you will need 1 pound of ground beef, yellow corn flour, salted butter, heavy whipping cream, sour cream, 2 8-ounce packages of sharp cheddar cheese, 1 8-ounce package of pepper jack cheese, Tabasco hot sauce, you can use any other brand of your choosing, and some tomato paste. And for your seasonings, you will need 1 yellow onion, garlic, green bell pepper, and red bell pepper. And for your additional seasonings, you will need some salt, black pepper, Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. If you don't have this, you can use the Zatarain's Creole seasoning or the Sapin Mama Cajun seasoning. You will also need some Chef Paul Prudhomme's Poetry Magic, chili powder, ground cumin, and some crushed red pepper. You will also need some granulated onion, granulated garlic, and some freeze-dried chives. And for your tools, you will need a potato peeler, a cheese shredder, and to bake your potato bake, you will need a regular standard 9 by 13 inch glass or metal pan. And there we have it. Alright, let's get straight to it. We're going to get started by chopping half of a yellow onion. Next, I'm going to rinse off my green and my red bell peppers off with cold water. Chop half of a green bell pepper and half of a red bell pepper. Here I have 2 cloves of garlic. I've cut them in half. Here I have a garlic press and press the garlic. And there we go. Alright, here we have our cheese shredder. First, we're going to shred the entire 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese, followed by the 8 ounces of the pepper jack cheese. Mix the 2 cheeses together with your hands. This is going to be for our topping for our potato bake. And next, we're going to shred 8 ounces of the second package of sharp cheddar cheese. This is going to be for our cheese sauce. And place this into your refrigerator. Alright, let's get started with peeling our potatoes. Here I have a potato peeler. Peel the russet potatoes with the potato peeler. Okay, here we have our russet potato. Take a knife and slice the russet potato into 1/16 of an inch thick slices. About that size right there will do. And there we go. Okay, let's clean our potato slices. We're going to get started by filling up this large bowl with cold water. You're going to fill it up a little bit past halfway full. Next, we're going to add a capful of vinegar. Give that a quick stir. Add your potato slices into the vinegar and water solution. Take your hand and move the potato slices around in the vinegar and water solution. This will not only help clean the potatoes, but prevent them from turning brown. Let this soak for about 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, it's been about 8 to 10 minutes now. I'm going to put a lid on top of the bowl, and from there we're going to drain the bowl. And there we go, our potato slices are nice and cleaned and ready to go. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started with parboiling our potato slices. So in this large 8-quart pot, I've added 2 1/2 quarts of water, and to that I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. Give this a quick stir. Add your potato slices right on in there. Give this a quick stir. Let this simmer for 8 minutes. Alright, it's been about 8 minutes now, and our potato slices should be nice and tender. To check to see if the potatoes are tender, you can insert a fork into them. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off. Add your potato slices into a strainer. Be careful as this is very hot. Let this cool for about 15 to 20 minutes. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started with cooking our ground beef for our chili. So in this large saucepan, I let it get hot for about 1 to 2 minutes. Add your ground beef right on in there. I like to break it up as I add the ground beef into the saucepan. Stir all your ingredients together. Make sure you take a spoon and try to break up some of those larger pieces of ground beef if you can. Let this saute for about 8 to 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, it's been about 8 to 10 minutes now. Now ground beef is done. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off. Alright, here I have a mesh strainer with a shallow bowl underneath it. Add your ground beef into the mesh strainer. Let this cool for about 10 minutes. Make sure you reserve the pan juices from the ground beef, as we're going to use that to make the chili. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started with making our cheese sauce. So in this medium-sized pot, add 2 tablespoons of salted butter. Spread the butter around the pot. Let the butter melt. Add 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, 1/4 cup of sour cream, and for your seasonings, add 1/4 to a half a teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of granulated onion, and 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of freeze-dried chives right on in there. Just going to take my whisk and give that a quick stir. Let this get hot for about 3 to 4 minutes. Turn your fire down from medium to medium-low heat. Add the entire 8 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Next, add 1/3 cup of the shredded pepper jack and sharp cheddar cheeses, the one that we mixed together. Add that in there. I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to continue to stir this for about 2 to 3 minutes or until the cheese has melted into the liquid. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off. We're going to let this sit here until we're ready to assemble our potato bake. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started with making our chili. So in this large saucepan, I let it get hot for about 1 to 2 minutes. Add 3 tablespoons of salted butter and 1 tablespoon of our pan drippings from our ground beef. Next, add 1/4 cup of yellow corn flour. I'm going to take a wooden spatula and stir this continuously for 2 to 3 minutes or until the mixture is a light brown color, like how you see here. Add a half a cup of chopped yellow onion, 1/3 cup of chopped green bell pepper, and 1/4 cup of chopped red bell pepper. You're going to take a spoonless wooden spatula and stir this continuously for about 3 minutes. Add 2 cloves of pressed garlic. Here I have some liquid pan juices from our ground beef, about 1 tablespoon of that. I'm going to add that in there. Next, add 3 cups of water and 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Stir all ingredients together with a whisk until combined. Let's add some seasoning. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, a half a teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, a half a teaspoon of Chef Paul Prud'homme's Poetry Magic, 1 1/2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons of ground cumin, and 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Stir all your ingredients together. Cover with a lid. Let this simmer for 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes now, and as you can see, our base of our chili has thickened. That's exactly what we want. Add your ground beef. Sorry y'all, my ground beef is a little cold here. Stir all your ingredients together. And from there, our homemade chili is done. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off. Let this cool for 15 minutes or until we're ready to assemble our potato bake. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 375 degrees. Alright, let's get started with assembling our potato bake. Add a half a tablespoon of salted butter. Going to take our hand and we're going to spread that salted butter along the bottom and the sides of our baking pan. Add the potato slices into the baking pan. Do this as evenly as possible. You're going to take your cheese sauce and you're going to pour it directly onto the potato slices. And to make everything nice and even, you're going to shake your baking pan. That's also going to allow some of that cheese sauce to go to the bottom of the pan. Add your chili directly on top of the potato slices. Alright, that looks good. Generously sprinkle your sharp cheddar and pepper jack cheeses. You're going to sprinkle that directly on top of the chili. Now it is ready to be baked. Place this into a preheated 375-degree oven on the middle rack. Bake this for 30 minutes. Alright, it's been about 30 minutes now for our potato bake. Let's remove this out of the oven. Let this cool for about 1 to 2 hours or until it's warm before serving. And for best results, serve this the very next day so that way the flavors can settle and increase overnight. Here is the final presentation. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Homemade chili cheese potato bake, made from scratch by a New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. I have an official website for all of my recipes, including this one. Go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go eat and take a bite. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Y'all, this is so good. I put my whole foot in this one. I mean, it's creamy, has a nice cheese flavor, and it combines with that chili really nicely. And guess what? It completely melts in your mouth. I mean, it is so delicious. You gotta give this recipe a try. It'll take your comfort food dish game up to a whole nother level. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.